Alright, it is FrOzenSwipe here, and I've got a game of Kill Confirmed on the map Interchange, and as you're going to see here in just a minute, I'm actually using the MK46, and as you can see, it's an LMG, and you don't generally tend to see a lot of not people, what the hell am I on about? We don't generally tend to see a lot of people using the LMGs, and it's pretty much been like that since Call of Duty 4, and it's been like that since every in every Call of Duty since. I think maybe World at War would probably be the only exception. I think the LMGs got a little bit more love in World at War, but I think that was mostly because the LMGs were one of the few weapons in World at War that were actually fully automatic, and obviously it had that big draw to them. But in the other games where they had more fully automatic weapons like assault rifles and submachine guns, those tend to be a lot more appealing than the light machine guns. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, I can understand. I mean, you look at a light machine gun, it just seems so slow and sluggish. Like, everything you do with it is sluggish. You move slow, you reload slow, and then when you shoot it, it kicks like a motherfucker. So I mean, obviously, not the most user friendly of guns, especially compared to the assault rifles or the the SMGs, I should say. So I can understand why people would opt for them over the LMGs, and it's also weird because the sniper rifles and the shotguns generally tend to get a bit more love than the LMGs as well, and it's because they're more challenging. And it's weird, the LMG seems to be in this weird in-between phase. It's not good enough to be a try-hard gun that everyone can use, whereas it's not bad enough or challenging enough to be a gun that people use to challenge themselves. So it's really caught like between two planes. It's got the worst of both worlds, if you know what I mean. But I definitely do recommend you give the LMGs a go, and if you really want to, I'd recommend using this setup. I mean, this definitely seems to work for me. You don't have to use Specialist, but if you run, say, Sleight of Hand, Quick Draw, and Stalker is going to be the most crucial out of all of them, because just being able to move faster while aiming down sights gives you the feeling of being like a mobile turret or some sort of tank or something, and there's really no feeling like it, because I mean, while this gun does kick quite a bit, I'd also recommend maybe using kick or the grip attachment. I'm currently running two attachments, red dot and grip, so I definitely do recommend you run that, or if you don't have the grip or two attachments unlocked, running kick along with like red dot side generally tends to do the same thing. So if you run that, that's pretty much the best setup you could probably use in terms of LMGs anyway. And I mean, to be honest, who has ever complained about an LMG being overpowered? I think the only time anyone has ever complained about that would be the RPK just spraying down the tunnel, in Mono for 2 on Skid Row, just, spraying down that corridor. But apart from that, I don't think anyone will ever complain that it's OP. And here, I pick up this sniper rifle. I see MSR custom on the ground. I think, right, oh, that'll do. I can pick this guy off. And he puts the two worst possible attachments on it. I mean, silencer and ACOG, really? Oh god, I mean, you just ruined that gun. But I suppose you gotta make use sometimes, and I can guarantee if I didn't put one or two shots into him, I would have got a hit marker. I wouldn't have been able to finish him off. Why would you bother ruining such a good gun? But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I do recommend that you use you try out this setup at least, because I mean, what's there to lose? But I do have kind of an ulterior motive for using this gun, and that's because Apache Gaming, which is a channel on YouTube, are currently doing this commentator showdown thing, and every week, to get onto the show, you've got to do a weekly challenge, and the challenge for this week was to get a gameplay with an LMG without assault kill streaks in domination. So I go on to Mono for 3 and I'm like, right, I might as well give it a go, and I play a few games and I get this game. It's not the best game in the world. It is quite slow paced because a lot of the other guys were camping, and I mean, in fairness to our team, we weren't we were running around, we were looking for them, but the other team were just so annoying. They were so boring to play against. I mean, I was bored playing against them while I was beasting, I was completely destroying them, and I can't imagine how bored they were. I'm just sitting there. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm kind of digressing here. But it was a decent enough game, it wasn't the best gameplay in the world, but it was definitely postable. So it's just like, alright, here, if I don't get any better game, I mean, I can easily submit this, no bother. So I was kind of pumped up about this, because I mean, it kind of took the pressure off knowing that I had a game that I could put in. But then I realized, shit, I wasn't playing domination, and I had to be in domination. I was playing kill confirmed, and I didn't notice this, but I'd actually gone into the mercenary playlist instead of the domination playlist by accident, and I didn't notice because all the games up until this one were all domination, so I didn't see any difference, and I just forgot about it. So, man, I was kind of gutted about that, but I suppose I got Monday off, so I'm sure I'll more likely not be able to get a gameplay there. But you know, I was kind of good about this, but I mean, it's still a decent enough game, so I might as well use it for a commentary. But anyway, I hope you've had a good St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, you know. I had a pretty good St. Patrick's Day, to be honest. Went into town with a few friends, you know, had a bit of crack, and then went out to dinner with my parents. Went to a nice Italian restaurant that we often go to. You know, it's good food, and I mean, you can't really argue with good food. So, you know, I had a decent enough St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys had a good St. Patrick's Day too. And it was funny because Ireland is such a small country, and yet we have our own internationally celebrated day. And to think that America, the most powerful country in the world, has nothing like this. I mean, yeah, 4th of July, I know it's a big deal over in America, but really, it isn't really anywhere else in the world. Like, my friend said that, you know, Americans outside of America who live outside of America anyway, would celebrate it, but not to the extent of St. Patrick's Day. I mean, you saw like all the different monuments going green, and you know, you've got parades all over the world. I mean, I can't believe that this St. Patrick's Day is so widely celebrated. I mean, I was actually researching. You know, I was having this argument with my friend. I was actually researching on Wikipedia, and some of the places, like, I didn't know that, you know, countries in Eastern Europe and actually had parades and celebrated St. Patrick's Day. I wouldn't think there would be too many Irish in there, but oh well, apparently so. And Argentina is another country where it's celebrated. I genuinely didn't know that. It's actually quite a big thing in Buenos Aires, apparently. But so I mean, you learn something new every day, I suppose. But it's funny the way the most powerful country in the world has nothing like this. I mean, the only other country I can actually think of that has their own internationally celebrated day would be China. And, you know, Chinese New Year, you know, it's quite big. It's celebrated by the Chinese community in pretty much every, you know, every country I can think of. So every country where there would be a relatively sizable Chinese community. So, I mean, that would be the only other real contender for this. And, you know, bear in mind, Americans, there's no whiskey that's going to stop the Chinese from taking over the world, so might as well start learning Mandarin. But so funny the amount of people who claim to be Irish around St. Patrick's Day, and I believe it's in America alone anyway, it's something like 50 million people claim to have Irish roots. At least that's the number that I've heard. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I mean, when you think about it, we only sent them 3 million. Right? We're good, but we're not that good. And I mean, it's so obvious when some people aren't Irish. I mean, first of all, right, first thing, like, just get this out of the way early. If you pronounce Ireland with 3 syllables, you are not Irish, okay? It is not Ireland, it's Ireland. I genuinely, it still perplexes me where the fuck you Americans get this 3rd syllable from. But I don't know, you found a way to do it. And another test to see if they're Irish, I believe there's a blood test you can do. It's not anything fancy like analysing DNA or anything like that. I think it's just a simple blood alcohol level. They want to see how much alcohol is in your blood. You know, obviously that'll give you a good indication of how Irish you are. But there's also the definitive test. If someone claims to be Irish, all you have to do is just say these 2 very simple words: Dia Gwitch. And if they do not respond with Dia Smuragwitch, then you tell them to get the fuck out. Alright, you're not Irish. Because, I mean, that's basically hello and hello in Irish. So, hopefully, you managed to rat a few people out with that. So, this has been FrOzenSwipe. Hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day. I hope you've enjoyed. And the gameplay's just wrapped up. So, thanks for watching.